with this international year one, I had the chance of doing 3 years of university instead of 4 with the foundation year. So financially, that was a good option. And yeah, that was how I ended up in Swansea as well.
Hello and welcome to the International Student Experience, a Swansea University podcast where we speak to students from around the world who've chosen to study here in the UK. I'm your host, Dav Turner, and today I'm joined by Juan.
Hi Dav, how are you?
So a nice easy question to start with. Can you just introduce yourself? Tell us what your name is, where you're from, and what course you're studying.
Perfect. So my full name is Juan Corcho-Ruiz. We have 2 surnames because of my mom's and my dad's. So yeah, I'm from Colombia originally. I lived there my whole life. And yeah, I did my primary school, high school, pretty much everything in Colombia. And then since I finished high school when I was 16, 17, I decided to go to London for a little bit, for a few months, where I did an English course. And at the same time, I started looking for universities here in the UK, see how it worked, all the process, all the visa. And yeah, I went back to Colombia for a few months and then decided to apply for Swansea University.
What inspired you to look outside of Colombia for your studies?
I would say my mom was really keen that she really wanted me to go abroad to see the world. She had me when she was 16 and then 3 days after that she turned 17. So she basically said, I didn't have that opportunity of going abroad, but you have the chance now. So go and do it. And same with my father. He also wanted me to go abroad. And thankfully, I've got some family in London. So that really helped. Since a few years ago, my idea was to study abroad, to study in the UK.
Okay, so it wasn't something you've always wanted to do. It was definitely the past few years.
Yeah.
What was it about your course that made you interested in media and communications?
I would say the options that you have with this degree. I feel I'm not entirely enclosed in one thing. I can try different things. I can learn about broadcasting, but also maybe something more related to sports, PR. I really enjoy the fact that you have to, you can basically decide what you want to do with your degree, whereas with other degrees, it would have been more specific in a way. And no, I think I did the right choice and I'm really enjoying the course so far.
What about Swansea? How did Swansea end up on your radar?
Okay, so I basically went through most of the universities in the UK, to be honest. And no, thankfully, Swansea had the option of doing the international year one, which is in collaboration with the college. So yeah, with this international year one, I had the chance of doing 3 years of university instead of 4 with the foundation year. So financially, that was a good option. And I know I felt that I was ready for that challenge. And yeah, that was how I ended up in Swansea as well.
Had you had a chance to visit Swansea before you came here on your first day?
I didn't. When I was in London, I came to Cardiff for a few days with my cousin. But apart from that, I knew really little about Wales in general. So my aunt was in charge of coming here to the open day and asking questions, and yeah, she was really helpful in that sense. And she even talked to some of the lecturers for media and communication, and she was like asking a lot of questions. And even when I came here, some of the lecturers said, "Oh yeah, I met your auntie. She was a really nice person." So yeah, that helped a lot. But I feel that I didn't miss much because. Since the moment I arrived here in Swansea, I saw that it was a nice place. I saw that it was basically what I wanted. Even without being here physically, I knew that this was the place I wanted to be at.
So what were your very, very first impressions of Swansea as a city?
So I remember the day I arrived here, it was really sunny, so probably gave me the wrong impression. But no, overall is basically what I wanted, a peaceful place, really nice people. The student life is really good as well. And I really felt that I was at uni, but I was at a nice place, in a really beautiful place like Swansea.
It's interesting you spent a bit of time in London as well, because that kind of is what people, especially international students, perceive the UK to be like. How does Swansea in Wales compare to life in London?
So I would say it's definitely very different, especially the lifestyle, the pace that you gotta keep up with in Swansea is completely different. In London, you always feel that you're in a rush and that the day is not enough, basically, not long enough to do all the things you have to do. Whereas in Swansea, you've got more time in a sense, in some way. And then transport-wise, it's also like completely different. You don't really have to travel that much to get to one place or another here in Swansea. But I think I can understand why people prefer London, because of course it's a bigger city, more cultures, maybe more food options, or maybe more things to do. But at the same time, I can also see why people like me prefer Swansea, because they want a quieter place to live at. And you've got the beach, which London doesn't. So I mean, it's completely different, but I would say I wouldn't like to be in London right now. I would just much rather be in Swansea.
How does Swansea compare to back home? What's the pace of life and the people like back home in Colombia?
So I was born in Bogota, which is the capital, and in a way it's similar to London because of the lifestyle and the pace that you have to keep up with. But I grew up in a small town which is 3 hours away from Bogota, and it's very similar to Swansea because of the size, because of the lifestyle in general. And I feel that helped a lot, that I lived like in a similar environment before. So it's not very different, but at the same time, I don't know, I felt more safe here probably. And in general, I don't know, it's not very far from where my family is as well. So I feel like home, but at the same time, I know that I'm not at home. But there are a lot of things that have helped me, like just feel safe, feel in a really nice environment with really nice people as well. So Swansea is very similar to how home was.
Was safety something you were looking for? Or was it something you've discovered when you've been here?
I think I already had a sort of idea of how safety was here in the UK in general. So I think it wasn't a key factor for me to come to the UK. But my aunt's been living here for probably 15 years or so. So she already knew how things worked, and she's of course like really relaxed in a way that she knows that I'm going to be safe. But I would say it wasn't a key factor for me.
Do you think having your aunt here helped you decide to come to the UK? Or do you think you'd have just found the UK on your own?
I would say, it definitely helped. I think I would have come to the UK anyway. I think that's or anywhere in Europe or abroad, because that's a challenge I wanted to sort of have for myself. But she was a bit sad when I decided to come to Swansea, because it's a bit far from London. But at the same time, she knew that it was because I wanted to do this course. I wanted to study at this university, and she's been really helpful overall.
How's your Swansea life been so far? I
think it's been really good. There have of course been ups and downs. Not everything is perfect, but I mean the people I've met here, they're really nice, and I can do all the things I basically want to. I can play football, I can do sports in general, I can just go out with some friends sometimes. Study is really close to the uni as well, so I don't have to transport that much. And I think it's really what I wanted.
I'm assuming this was like your first time alone, away from home, away from family. How did you find that adjustment?
It was definitely a challenge. It was difficult sometimes, especially, I don't know, when you're feeling ill or maybe just sad. You would like to have your mom next to you. You would like to have your family around you. But I think it also made me realize that I could also do things by myself. I could be independent. I could be mature. So it helped me a lot in that sense. And I think it's helped most of the students here in Swansea, and university students in general. I've heard some stories of people being really sad and they want to go home, but maybe a few days later they realize that they went through that alone, and that's fine. It's fine to go through things alone. And with technology, I can also keep in touch with my family really easily. So yeah, I'll just call them every day, and that makes me feel better, basically.
Do you think having that support network then of being able to speak to your mum, being able to speak to your aunt, but as well as having like people here really helps you settle in?
Yeah, definitely. Because there may be some times where your family is busy and then you really need to talk to someone. So having that sort of social cycle is important, and yeah, having people around you and people you can trust. It's really difficult to trust someone when you've met them for less than 2 months or maybe a month. So I think those first months are really difficult, to really trust and have that sort of bond with someone. But with time, you'll get to know them better, and you can really build some sort of relationship with them. So that's really nice and really important to have that.
How easy or difficult was it to make friends when you first came here?
It's probably difficult because you make it difficult. If you really think about it, if you have some sort of hobbies or interests, there is going to be someone else with those hobbies. There's going to be someone else playing sports. There's going to be someone else interested in the same books. There are plenty of people doing the same course. So you'll always have the option. It's not always easy. I think I'm not very extroverted or anything like that, but I just sort of open myself to speaking to new people. Thankfully, there were a lot of societies that I could join. So I came across the Latin American Society, which opened last year. So it was a sort of new society, but I knew it was going to be sort of close to home. That helped me a lot with keeping that identity in a way. And a lot of people in that society, most of them have the same sort of background as I do. So maybe coming from a different country, or maybe they were born in Latin America and they moved abroad. So that helped a lot. And I think with societies and with football as well, football helped me a lot, making friends, people who were interested in the same thing and that I could speak to about football in general. So it's really hard for some people. I would say it's up to you on how open you are to talking to someone, and you'll realize that people are really nice and they are in the same position as you are. So you don't have to be afraid of that. You just have to, talk to them, and you'll see that, they're not scary.
How have the people been like since you came in? Not just like all other international students, but like the actual people of Swansea. Like, what sort of reactions have they had to you? Like, how welcoming have they been?
I think in Swansea, Wales, probably Swansea and Wales in general, they have been really welcoming. They're really nice people. They are very chatty as well, so that's also good. And then, of course, if you have an accent, and like the way I do, they'll ask, where are you from? And then they'll be really impressed that you're from really far. And they'll ask questions. So that's something I really like.
Is football one of your passions?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know when I started playing it. Probably I was 4 or 5 years old. But I just remember playing it, watching it, talking about it. And in my family in Colombia, it's probably the most popular sport. So I'm really, really proud of being a football fan.
Was it easy to find clubs to join and be able to actually continue that passion here in Swansea?
Yes, I think in the UK, you'll always find football. It's quite big. And here in Swansea, you also have rugby, but it wasn't difficult at all. Thankfully, the university offers the intramural league teams that are constructed by students, so it's a really nice environment. It's not like someone superiors managing the team. So that was one of the options. I'm playing for an intramural league team this year, Lazio, and but apart from that, you also have the Sunday league teams. You also have 5-a-side leagues. So I think there is always ways of continue playing football, and it's up to you of the way like how you organize your schedule. At first, I found it a little bit difficult to fit everything so that I could play football as well. But I think you will always have options of playing sports.
How did you strike that balance between hobbies and studies?
Probably when I started uni, I was a bit scared of how it was going to work. I didn't do A-levels, so that was a bit of a challenge as well. But when I started studying it, when I received my first grades, I really realized that it's really not that hard. It's just about putting some effort to it, and really studying for a bit, and maybe practicing writing a bit more, reading a bit more, understanding how really things work, what the lecturers want. And then once you have that, I feel that I was more prepared for doing other things, for doing more social things, for playing more football. And then when I had that sort of balance between hobbies and university, I also wanted to work for a little bit. So I started doing some part-time jobs, which also helped financially, because despite my family being really helpful in that sense, I felt that I could do more. So that's why I decided to also do part-time jobs.
How easy was it to find work in Swansea?
There is a big misconception of thinking that it's really hard to find jobs, but it's really not that hard, especially because there are a lot of opportunities. You either have the online applications, which are a bit hectic. It's really hard to find a job through Indeed or those websites. But I remember apart from that, I would just print 20, 30 copies of my CV and just go around asking if they had any positions available. And that helped me a lot, also like figuring out how their work environment was, what they were looking for in an employer and an employee. So I mean, that was a fun experience. But it wasn't that hard. I think it was on the same week that I was handing out CVs that I found the job at the restaurant. And that experience was also really good.
Are you able to do any work through the university?
Yes. So around October, November, I believe, last year, I came across the student ambassadors. Basically, they open a sort of a scheme for people to apply first, and then after that, once you got the role, you can start basically registering yourself as available for a specific events. So I've worked in 2 open days so far, and then some sort of talks as well. And you have a lot of options with the uni to work as well. This year I'm also working with the football activators, so it's basically refereeing in some sort of sense. But making sure everyone's got like balls and beeps to play with. So I think the uni is also really helpful in that sense. Not a lot of people know about that, which I was a bit surprised. But I felt that was also something really good that Swansea is doing, because despite not being easy to find jobs outside the uni, for some people you still have the chance of working with the uni.
Is it quite flexible then? Like, because obviously you do have to study, but does finding that work through the university, does it allow you to be flexible enough to fit it in when it suits you best?
Yes, I would say so. Well, with the open days, for example, most of them, I think all of them are on Saturdays. So unless you have something specific that you want to do that Saturday, or you have to go away, you can definitely fit that in your schedule or your week. And then the rest of the events, I've had to decline most of them because, they sort of collide with some of my lectures. But I'll say most of them are just, perfect for me. And then once you apply, you may not get the position, but then the next one you can definitely get it. And it's probably, I will say I need another part-time job to sort of pay the things I want to pay. So I don't know if that's the same sort of view that other international students have when they apply for the student ambassadors. But it's definitely good. It definitely helps you a lot. And it makes me, at least for me, it makes me feel less stressed about money in general.
Would you still have been able to cope without it, or does it definitely help with the cost of living around here?
Yeah, it definitely helps. Especially when you feel that you're really struggling. Like, I'm not a person that spends all his money in one night out. But then if you really feel that you need to buy something specific, or you feel you just want to have more money available for you, it helps a lot. We were talking about intramural league teams. The fees that you have to pay at the beginning of the year are quite high. They are for the whole year, so they're definitely worth it. But then, with these jobs, you have the chance of earning that money. So it helps a lot. I wouldn't say is definitely more a solution than a problem, basically.
As someone who's also experienced living in London for a little bit, how expensive is Swansea as like a city to live in and like survive in?
No, it's definitely cheaper. It's definitely cheaper. Yeah, it's really funny when I go back to London with my aunt. We'll go to Tesco's and then everything is more expensive. Yeah, I think the most important thing is like eggs. Here in Swansea, I can find 15 eggs for £1 something. Then in London, it wouldn't be less than £6. But no, it's definitely less expensive. Transport-wise, you spend way more in London. Yeah, going out as well. Food here in Swansea is really good and really accessible, really cheap. But yeah, you cannot really compare London to anything else. Yeah, anywhere else in the UK will be cheaper than London. And no, Swansea specifically is really cheap. I have heard that it's probably like the third cheapest place to live in the UK. So yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, to be honest.
You mentioned going out for food there. There's quite a good food scene in Swansea at the moment. Like, have you got any specific places you really like to go or really like to eat?
So I don't go out to eat a lot. But when I do, for example, the first day I came here, I went to Las Iguanas with my aunt and my uncle, and that's a really good place. Also, Latin American food, so that was a nice spot to find. And then they also have the Founders & Co. It's sort of a place where they have a vintage clothing shop. They have a cafe, so it's a really sort of social space to share. And they have different sort of food options in there. So there is a Mexican place in the Founders & Co. And yeah, I love that place so much. No, the food is really good, and yeah, sort of the vibe in there is also really, really enjoyable.
Any other favourite spots in Swansea to travel to or study in or just go and visit? Like, because there's a lot to do here.
Yeah, there's a lot to do. Yeah, I feel you really don't feel that you're missing out a lot here in Swansea. You have a lot of options, a lot of things to do. So even if you want to do something different every weekend, you could. So going to beaches, I haven't been to that many. I've been to Caswell a couple of times. That was nice. Yeah, even the one in front of the uni, both on Bay or here in Singleton, they're really nice. And just going for a walk, going for a run over there is fine. I think on Princess Way, there is also an acai place called Acai Bowl. Not Acai Bowl, the Berry Point. I think they're opening again. So yeah, that's also a really nice place. If you just want to go and study there and then maybe eat an acai bowl, that's also very good. But yeah, you have a lot of things to do here in Swansea, honestly.
What's life like on campus?
It's a nice environment, seeing all the university students like just walking around and yeah, just having fun. You really feel that you're in the right place, you are with the right people. Last year when I was living on campus, I didn't feel that I was missing a lot of things. So I could do my laundry downstairs basically. I could go to cost cutters and just buy whatever I had to buy. And yeah, you also have JC, so you didn't really have to go to town and then go to a pub in town. So yeah, no, it's really, really easy to have everything you need on campus. And the people you meet at your flat are also really nice. So yeah, I think everything that you may be looking for as a student is there on campus.
You mentioned the accommodation there. What's that been like?
I was really lucky with my accommodation, to be honest. The flat was really nice. And yeah, the people I lived with were also like very, very nice people. You will see people from different courses, so that also gives you like different insights of how uni life is for different courses basically. So maybe someone has got like more work to do, more assignments, more exams. I think it also helped me a lot what we were talking about earlier, meeting new people. It helped me a lot to basically I had to talk to them. I saw them when I arrived, so I had to. And thankfully they were really nice. I speak to some of them still this year. I was really, really lucky. And the good thing is that when you apply for accommodation, you can sort of choose the things that you want to have in your accommodation. So it could be all boys flat, all girls, mixed, alcohol free. When I joined uni, I was 17, so I was allocated to an alcohol free flat. So yeah, it was really calm flat to say it somehow. But no, I'm really happy with that.
You mentioned earlier that you have been doing the 3-year course, so you've been working with the college to do the international first year. Was that something you were looking for, or was it presented to you when you came here?
So when I looked at Swansea Uni online, it did mention something about the college. So that was something we wanted to know more with my aunt about, because we weren't sure if it was going to be university basically, or if it was going to be college. But no, thankfully with the college, I just had to go to Bay because it's based on Bay, the college. So I had to go to Bay a couple of times, like for sort of checkups and maybe just to let them know that I arrived. I had a mentor from the college for my first semester last year. But apart from that, I didn't really have to go much to Bay. So that was also really good, that I didn't have to transport to Bay that often. And basically what they do is they help you a lot in a way where you can get a sort of UK university introduction, but you still have the normal university, to call it somehow. I just have some lectures on Wednesdays. With that, I feel that they helped me a lot to understand how the UK system was like, what they were looking for. We had a specific session in which we could just bring our assignments, and then with the help of the lecturer, who'll help us read through them, maybe practice writing as well. And if we needed feedback, he will give it to us. I think that relationship between the college and the uni was also very key for me to not going to uni without knowing anything. So it was like the sort of baby steps for uni.
Would you recommend using the college to help people transition in if that's available to them?
I would say so, yes. I think Swansea University, compared to other unis as well, they have a big range of options for the international year one that I did. Of course, you have to meet some sort of criteria. They'll have to revise your specific case. But overall, you'll find from accounting to media and communication. So it's really good that they sort of offer lots of options for students, international students. Because what I found with other unis is that they would just stick to either engineering or business, and that's really not what I wanted. So Swansea gave me the option of doing what I wanted to study, basically.
Great. Last question for you. What advice would you give to any student who's considering leaving their home country and coming to study here in the UK?
I would say just do it. It's a bit cliche, but I think if you think it too much, maybe you'll find more things that are stopping you from doing it than things that are really worth doing when you go abroad. Well, for example, now that I'm here, now that I've been here for a couple of years, I feel that all the things that I've achieved are because I really put an effort to that, and I deserve them because I work for them. I won't say that you'll have to work harder. You'll just have to work the way you do it, and you have to really trust what you know, trust what you are capable of, and you'll realize that you're capable of really amazing things.
Amazing. Thank you, Juan.
Thank you very much.
If you've enjoyed this episode and want to find out more about studying in the UK or listen to other episodes in this series, please visit our website swansea.ac.uk/international.